Okay. Let's see, make sure everything's going. That's an ad on Twitch. Is it for Metro? Yeah, it is. Exodus. At least I think it is. Yeah. Let's see, dashboard live. Okay, yeah, looks like everything's gone now. Alright, everyone, this is GeoWill from Productions², and we're going to be doing a stream today, this morning, for Odyssian Void development. So just kind of catch up to where I'm at. I did some work on this last night, and I created some new classes to do a few things. So I now have two new classes, inventory and item. So item will store information about items, obviously, and they're going to be used in a vector and an inventory, so you can see where this is going, to store items. So got a couple functions here to get the total space, which just returns the number of items times the SG² of one of the items. So SG² is the fictional unit of measurement in the game. Stands for centigram², and I believe, if I remember correctly, it's 7 tons. So this stores the size for one of the whatever item it is, so copper or a weapon or something, whatever. And then the get total space function will do a multiplication on that to return the actual full amount. Then item name, type, getting and setting, all just getting of those. This one doesn't have any setters, we're just setting it with this constructor here. And then obviously the update amount. And an inventory, it's pretty much the same thing. We have a T-array, which is basically Unreal's vector. A T-array of items. One interesting thing, though, is that you have to use pointers, otherwise it doesn't work properly. Because a U item, with U items, you can't have just like a regular instance. It has to be a pointer instance to work properly. For some reason, I guess it's because objects are passed around as pointers, not as references, so you have to do that. So it's kind of annoying. So we got those. So add item, putting an item into the items vector. Get item, we're getting one out at the specific index, and then the get items gets all the items back to do stuff like iterating through to display what we're going to do, iterating through to display all the items we have in the inventory. If we look at the code for that real quick, it's just pretty simple. There is no at element or at whatever for this for T-arrays. You just have to access it using the square brackets like you would in an array. But so it's like kind of like an array in terms of how it's how you work with it, but it has the functionality of a vector, essentially. So we got those done and built out, and then in the editor we have a couple new things. So I have added in some UI stuff, and basically what we're going to have is a button that will allow us to mine. Up here we have target information, so what happens is that when we select the asteroid to mine it, it'll show the asteroid name, the type of ore that's in it, and the type of ore, and how much of that ore is left in it. And then down here is the cargo manifest, and this will display on every other tick or something. It'll update what we have in the inventories. It's just a multi-text box, and what we'll do is we'll just do a loop on the env items vector, which we'll pull out, and then throw in the name and the Citigram² total in here. And there will be like an animation on this button eventually. Just like turn it green. There are no, on buttons, there aren't any borders or anything like that you can use, so I'm just going to make the whole thing flash for the moment. Until I can get something. No. What happened to my mouse? There we go. Until I can get a custom button using images or something where I'll have. It'll probably be like where you have one version of the button and then another one. The second one will be a little larger and have. It'll be green so that on the. So when we bring it into focus, it'll have like a little thing around it, or it might be just like a. Yeah, I might make it in Photoshop and have it be like a stroke around the button, and then we'll just bring it in to make that effect. So that's going to be the UI component here that we're making. That's pretty much done in terms of what we're going to be putting onto it. Well, not quite. I'm also gonna have something that'll like do like a mini, like in EVE Online when you select a target, it'll show like a little box that has a like a camera angle added or something. We'll do something like that as well for this. But it won't have the information underneath it. That'll be displayed over here. For now. Eventually we'll figure out a better way to do it than this. So there's that. And then I also added in some new. Well, let me go to the graph real quick. So, we have our asteroid over here. We also have some functions. No, we don't. Okay. Those did not get added. I believe the functions are actually over here. And yes, they are. Okay, so we got a couple new functions, and we've also put in a variable, a inventory variable called cargo over here in the flying pond. So add item to cargo. Will add the item to the cargo. So we're basically passing in a new item object, and then we're setting it to the add item in the inventory, add item function in the inventory, and it will insert into the inv items vector T array. Same thing with get cargo items. So we're just getting everything out of this one. Let's also do one for the singular get. We also need to do a remove now that I think about it. Crap. Okay. Function get cargo item. Now we'll need to do a remove cargo item. Alright, so get cargo item, we're going to have a parameter in, it's going to be an integer, it's going to be our index, so IDX, we're going to have an output which is going to be a U item, so item, we're going to say inv item. Okay, so over here we need two. Say get cargo. Pull this down. Get oh hell, we're in the wrong one. So we will need this, we won't need the other one. Just paste them over here. No, didn't work. Alright, try this again. Maybe I have to have them both present. There we go. Now we can delete this, I think. So what we want to do with this now is take pull this over here and rewire this pin. We throw the index into here, we have the return value down to here, and throw that there. Maybe we center this a bit. Alright, and for move cargo item, we can't do that one yet because we don't have the function built. But that one will take an input index as well. So we'll just set that up. Okay. Compile. Then, let's see. It's the roid setup. I don't think I did anything else anywhere else. No. Okay, so let's have a look at this real quick. So we have this function set asteroid resource. Okay, yeah. So we would build the resource and then pass it through here. So on the setup for asteroids, did we do that? Okay, we didn't do that yet. So pull this off here. We're gonna call it set resource. And then what we'll just do is just snake this down here, and there we go. So once we have the asteroid resource set up, then we want to, you know, save it, set it in the actual thing. So that now should mean that we have, would have an asteroid that is completely set up at this point. It'll have all the values set up. It'll have a resource that'll be an ore, and that'll be an amount of ore in there, and the resource variable will be set to what we've created here. Okay. No. Blueprint self is not asteroid C, therefore must have a connection. Notice an asteroid. An invalid target. Maybe we need to use the other one. So target is resource. So set variable value of asteroid size. Target is roid. Oh, roid. Ooh. I think I pulled the wrong one. That's why. I pulled off roid. I think no target. No, yeah, I think I put in the resource instead of Royd as the target. I'm not sure which one I did. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I did. I should have put that there and then this here. Yeah, there we go. That was it. Yeah, there sounds like, Okay. So now that that's done, so that should be fully ready to go. So now what we need to do is we need to figure out how we're gonna call that. There's got to be something like a on-game start event that we can use. Some things will have to be called on-game start, others will be on tick. So there's asteroid. So now I think that's in the construction script, event graph. Yeah, event begin play. So we have all that. Then we would do a another one of these we would call well, we have to make a variable for it, I guess. Right. Setup. So what do we call this? Ideally, you wouldn't want to put this here, or rather, you wouldn't want to put the player stuff here. I don't know, maybe you would. Well, that's something else to consider, because this is the flying pawn. Is there a construction script for everything? Like if I went to the UI for a second. Oh, there is. Okay. Never mind. So we wouldn't need to put it there. Cool. Oh, there is. Okay. So let's go to right setup then. We'll probably need to put one of these out here or something. Let's go to right setup. We'll probably need to put one of these out here. Or maybe we can't. We can't drop in the hierarchy somewhere. No. So maybe it'll just run. Maybe it will run if we set up something on the event graph. So on game start. Let's see. Game state, go to. No, that's not what we want. We want is this event here. Hopefully we can. Something that's substituted during paste. It's this custom event. That's interesting. So looks like we can't use. Event gameplay on a blueprint, or at least this blueprint. Let's see. Add event. What events do we have? Add custom event. So we can't do any event stuff at all. Okay, let's see. Yeah, don't need that. So UE4. So we want. Oh right, the level blueprint. Maybe we'll do that there then instead. Maybe that's where we need to do this. I'd almost forgotten about that. Oh right, the level blueprint. Maybe we'll do that there then instead. I'd almost forgotten about that. Yeah, here we go. Event begin gameplay. So I'll put the roid set up here. Okay. And I'm thinking, still thinking about this question that I had, which is, do we have to cast this to an actual instance that's in the map? And I still think the answer is yes. I still think this roid is just referring to a instance of its own that's not set to anything that's already in the map. I think we have to get the actor somehow, cast it to the roid, and then that's what we'll use to set it with. And then that will get us the actual instance that we can use. Question is, do I remember how to do that? Okay, project. I think it's this one. I had it open earlier, but I closed it because I wasn't compiling again. Alright, so let's see. Now, I believe it's over here where we want to do check stuff. So my character target. Okay, so we're grabbing my character. So it's probably out here somewhere. Okay, so player index. Oh, that's player index. Yeah, casting it and then get characters. So what we need to do is something different. Okay, so player index. Oh, that's player index. Yeah, casting it. Create dynamic material instance. That's for the UI. How are we accessing these? Cast a third-person character. So we're not really setting any. There's no variables on this that we're populating or setting or anything. We're just using this to do stuff. So it's not quite apples to apples. Again, we're casting the third-person character blueprint. So I do think we need to do that. So return HUD reference. Which is over here, which we set over here, I believe, probably in the construction script or the view. Yeah, construction script, I think, probably. No, we don't. Okay. HUD reference is a reference to UI widget. And target third-person character. Turn HUD reference. Okay, so the third-person character has that in it. Okay, yeah, HUD reference. So we must be setting it here then. Yeah, so we're creating a UI widget, setting the HUD reference, and then assigning it to the viewport. And then we're getting that reference to everything else. So yeah, I think we need to... We're going to need to pull the actual actor in and then do the setting on it. So, now, how do we get an actor from the map? Get actor from map. Get specific actor, maybe. I might have already looked this up once. So there's that. We've dropped it into the map. Content browser under the character assets. Graph blueprint editor, F key on events. Get all actors of class. Okay. Which will return an array of blueprint effect fire. Drag out all the all actors and for each loop. P fire and fire audio. Deactivate. Okay, so all we really need to do then on this, going by that, so that'd be the level editor, or the level blueprint. Blueprint, level, blueprint. So on setup asteroid though, then we're gonna need to have an input of a asteroid reference. So on setup asteroid though, then we're gonna need to have an input of a asteroid reference. Let's call it Roid instead of asteroid, so we don't have any potential issues there. So what we'll do now is now wherever that's pulled off to, we are going to do the same. And then we'll get rid of this. So now that should, in theory, actually be using stuff from the map instead of just a blank instance of it that won't set anything anywhere. Save that, compile it. Now over here, what we need to do is what they were explaining over there. We need to pull this out and say get all actors of class. Actor class will be asteroid. And for each loop, so the array is out actors, and the array element goes into here. So for every asteroid it can find, loop through the list of them and set them up on gameplay begin. So for every asteroid you can find, loop through the list of them and set them up on gameplay begin. So that's done now. Now, we need to link up the. That could be what we do on complete. So first of all, we need to go over to here. We need to set up the UI like we set it up over on the other one. So we will need it for that, I think. This will help. No, I think I closed it again. All right, reopen it. Okay, so third person character, and we will look at how we have that set up. So first we need to create a reference to it, and then we need to create a function to get it. And in the construction script we have to do something like this. So, we want to go here. No, we want to go here. Yes. Alright, so first thing we need to do over here is to add get HUD. And then we need to create a. We'll just change this to a. Okay, what type did I actually have that as? UI widget. That is what it was. Okay. UI widget. Well, I can't actually choose that. That's interesting. There's UI widget there underneath object types. So why can't I choose you here? Well, we'll see if that works. HUD ref. So get HUD. Outputs will be and then we'll use get HUD ref. Okay. Of course, we'll also need to set the this to say HUD. Let's call it HUD, just so we have it named. Doesn't really matter that it's named; it just makes it look a little bit cleaner. Okay, so on the viewport, no construction. And not even there, it's on the event graph. There we go. So, on event begin play, create custom UI widget. So pull this off. Custom UI widget. So flying example map. Can we not use UI widgets here? That'd be bullcrap. UE4 UI widgets on flying. Alright, give me a second, I gotta go. I think there's somebody at the front door. I'm gonna go ahead and pause the stream real quick.